Adrian and Sherry, and today we will be talking about European and Japanese feudalism.
The Japanese feudal system, there were the daimyo, which were the rulers in their domain, and they controlled large areas of their land, and so they were also referred to as the shoins. And with the social hierarchy system, there was the triangle, and the merchants were so low that they were outside the triangle. And back to the daimyo, they were supported by the profits from their rice that they grew, and that the peasants and the artisans grew. And then the emperor, he was like the symbol of like power, but he didn't actually have it. They considered the shoguns to have the real power. And so, since there weren't any like real wars for them to fight, the daimyo and the samurai became administrators, and then they started to lose their power and their status.
My name is Adrian. I'll be showing you European feudalism. Alright. Yeah. So in European feudalism, it is mainly ruled by the Catholic Church up here. The kings look for answers from the Catholic Church and they seek God's guidance. They know He's the top dog. So after the Catholic Church, or the church in general, there will be the kings. The kings own everything. They own all these people, they own the land, they can get what they want anytime they want. After the kings are the noblemen and the vassals, who, you know, I don't think anybody really knows their purpose. They just kind of stand around and obey the king and kind of gossip about each other. But the king gives the land. The king owns the land, and they give most of the land to the vassals and the knight, or just the vassals and the noblemen. And next on the tier, it will be the knights, and yeah, their service is to just obey the king. They go to the battle, they do all the hard work. The king gives the land, or the noblemen also give the land between the knights. Concluding the knights, you go on to the merchants of everyone. They're like regular merchants today. They're not the most wealthy people, but they're the people that get by in life. They don't have to do any service towards anyone. They're basically their own employers. But after the merchants are the peasants. These people work for the vassals and the knights on their land. They mainly do farming to help supply their family and to keep themselves stable in life, and that's just their purpose. And then we have the women, who weren't even in the picture. They were kind of considered fragile people. They have no rights, unlike in the Japanese feudalism. And that's all you need to know.
Now we'll be talking about the similarities between Japanese and European feudalism. First of all, feudalism in Japan developed around the same time as feudalism in Western Europe. Both of these countries had no central government, as in the land was divided over several noblemen or proper citizens, and then those noblemen would divide the land even further to lesser citizens, and that would make sure that the power was not centralized in one place. Next we have the Knights of England and the Samurai of Japan. The Knights of England are equivalent to the samurai, as in they both rode into battle and trained extensively, and they were the warriors of their respective countries. Both the knights and the samurai followed their own codes of honor. The knights followed the code of chivalry, and the samurai followed the code of bushido. Then we have the land for loyalty exchange, as in the noblemen would give land to the peasants, and in exchange the peasants owed their loyalty to those noblemen. Then we have the social class structure triangle, as in they would start with Japan had the emperor and the shoguns at the top, though the emperor held no power, and it would fall down to the peasants and the merchants. And England's triangle had the king and the priest at the top and would fall also as well down to the peasants.